I feel like ultimately I'm very optimistic about America.
Okay.
Ultimately you guys are very...
Okay. Hosting the Daily Show makes me happy.
Yeah, you clearly don't do your research before you interview people, because I say this every time. I'll hate for them to replay this part of the video when you actually predicted correctly the future of the world.
You are the model immigrant.
Yeah, this is too long a conversation to have. That's not a good faith political discussion. Honestly, I can't. Are you hurt now?
That's a good question.
It's a good question.
Yeah,
finally one
Jimmy
good
Kimmel?
question. Yeah.
Like people have been killed on the street.
That's what martial arts helps me with, is being in the present. And so it's really mental health.
Did I say I relate to that?
Yeah.
I said those words?
You said
A
default.
little, we'll run it black.
No, you started out as a background character.
This is not a Jimmy Kimmel interview.
This is not late night. This is definitely not Jimmy Kimmel.
Have you seen any of my stand-up comedy?
Yes.
Third Netflix special. Your first one, legendary. Second one, pretty good.
Okay.
Can you ask me why that's my goal?
No, I don't really care.
If you're not a extremely talented or good-looking Asian American, I would say you start off as a background character. I feel like you've never made a joke that sold out Asians.
The reason I started doing comedy was because I felt there was something to be said that no one else was saying. So why would I do the jokes that everyone else is doing? Are you just gonna eat that while I'm talking?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is unlike any interview you've seen before. I'm sitting down in the middle of Manhattan's Chinatown with world-renowned comedian, martial arts enthusiast, and angry debate extraordinaire, Ronny Chieng. We're gonna be talking about his new Hulu series, Asian Guys, Raising a Family, and his brand new comedy special, Love to Hate It, which you can watch on Netflix right now. I mean, after this video. Hit that like button, let's go.
Oh, real quick, why do you, me, and David argue so much?
I don't know.
No, why do we argue? Like, so I'll look away for like 30 minutes. I'll come back to my phone and there's 97 messages.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is this shit?
We just have different points of view. We just have different points of view. And
so it's just different perspectives.
And to be fair, we have different points of view, but we're also willing to hear other people's point of view, right? Because if we didn't care, we wouldn't even engage.
Right.
The fact that we're arguing is because we're trying to get to some truth or something, right?
What do you think the different point of view is? How would you sum it up? I have a way to sum it up.
I mean, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I think that...
What's your point of view?
I think, you correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like ultimately I'm very optimistic about America.
Okay.
Ultimately, you guys are very pessimistic about America.
Okay.
I think a lot of it stems from that.
Okay,
right?
okay. I think it stems more from even where we come from. So there is a lot of similarities, but obviously you're from Malaysia.
Yeah, I'm from Malaysia.
And,
why'd you say it like that?
And you love...
Why'd you say it like it's a problem?
Because you love to be from the British colonies. Which is different.
Being from Malaysia.
America is not a British colony.
Well, I love being from the British colony, but I'm also love being here. So how can you say that?
So you're extra grateful. So you're grateful for where you come from, and you're grateful to where you landed.
Yeah,
and where you found success.
I think generally immigrants are grateful to be in America.
Right, but as a American-born Asian, I'm actually grateful for America too.
I don't think you're as grateful as me.
Not as grateful.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah,
but it's hard for me because I'm American born.
Yeah, there's reasons for it, but this is where our disagreement comes from.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'm more grateful to be in America than you
guys.
Because you guys are stuck up and spoiled.
No. You're a talented, grateful immigrant, and I'm a semi-talented, less grateful Asian American.
No, you're a talented, less grateful Asian American.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take it. But I feel like when you are, does it help you in your, like, do you warm up? Because no, this is what I think happens. Sometimes you're like going at it, the velocity of Ronnie's words is just so fast, and then literally you stop, and then I don't hear from you for like 2 hours, and then I think it's because you go tear down a theater of 5,000 people after you argue with us.
Oh yeah, no, I literally argue with you guys and go on stage and do comedy.
So you're literally arguing in the green room.
No, sometimes
and then it's like Ronny Chieng.
Yeah, go on. But hey, everybody, what's going on? Yeah. But the point is that I don't take our arguments personally.
Right.
I don't even see it as arguments. I see it as a discussion.
Okay.
I think that sometimes you guys take it very personal.
Because you name call more.
Sometimes you guys get mad.
Yeah,
but. What, are you too sensitive? Too sensitive to be called a name? Is me calling you sensitive making you sensitive?
You know, we learned in Sunday school, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah, so Sunday school, the most useful of all schools.
Yeah. What makes you happy about life right now? And you can't say performing on stage in front of thousands of people. Hosting the Daily Show makes me happy.
So you're saying that the things that make, I cannot say that the things that make me happy.
No, you can't just say your job, like what you get paid for. No, this is cop out. Like beyond your job.
I happen to like my job.
eating your wife's like bumble, like, you know,
That's a very dangerous sentence. You're like eating your wife's, and then you pause for a second and you hit bumble.
What?
Yeah.
Does
Anyway,
that
I know
the
you
other
guys
one
are-
can make you happy too.
I know you guys
All
are YouTubers, so you can't really swear. But what makes me happy is writing the next joke. Writing the next joke, like finding the next funny joke is what makes me happy.
the next insight or just joke period.
Yeah, just
anything
joke.
that's gonna make
Just
people
what's the
laugh.
next joke? That's what makes me happy. It's like writing the next joke is like the best. When you can write, when you come up with a new bit, it's the best. It's the best feeling.
I can't believe you came here with the Chinatown hair.
What do you
You
mean?
didn't even put hairspray in it. Not
I
even
didn't. I put
paste or
some,
anything.
I put a little bit of something in it, but yeah, there's some product in it. Yeah, but this is the relaxed.
not Daily
Chinatown
Show
look.
hair.
This is not Daily Show.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is Chinatown street
That's a good
street
point.
hair. Yeah, guys just walking over. Yeah, well, very Chinatown.
Yeah,
People
but
just
you know
walking
what? You know what's funny? You know what's funny? If we were all
Yeah.
Bakwais, I don't think
See,
he's
he
walking
did it on
through that.
purpose. He's laughing right
No,
there.
if he,
Yeah, right
if
there.
he,
He
no,
did it on purpose.
But if we're all Bakwais with larger cameras, I don't think he's doing that. It's because
Yeah.
we're YouTube. It's because we're YouTubers.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
do you ever think about your place and position?
His friends dared him walking around a camera, so he just walked around and did it.
If he won money, he should donate some of that to us or to Chinatown Social. Shout out to Chinatown Social brand, best streetwear brand coming out of Chinatown. All right, do you ever think about your position in an Asian America? How do you feel about being an Asian American icon? How would that title? How does that bode with you? Are you like, oh,
I guess it's nice, but
it's cool?
how do you? That's not like.
I'm not saying that was your goal, but you
Yeah.
you get sometimes
it's nice.
thrusted up. You sometimes get a title
Yeah.
as a celebrity or someone in media.
Yeah.
You sometimes get a title that you don't always ask for. And
Yeah.
we know plenty of Asian American celebrities, which I'm not going to name, who probably didn't really want the title, but they got it.
Okay.
You know, like
Okay.
because when you're Asian face in media, you
agree.
automatically have to become an activist a little bit. You know.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's nice to be wanted, but I mean, I don't think I can. That's not the goal, and I don't think I can make that my goal. Because I think if I made that my goal, I don't think I would be. I don't think I would be it
No,
anymore.
you're right,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Your
If I
goal
tried
is-
to be that, then I think it'll be.
Exactly.
So I think I've never tried to be that, and my focus has never been to do that. And the more I do comedy, the more I realize like trying to be the hero is actually a mistake. Because comics, we're counter punchers. We shouldn't be in the front leading. We should be in the back making fun of the people.
Well, why does it feel like sometimes comedy is leading, and especially even with this last election, and taking this out of the Asian sphere, it kind of
Yeah,
felt
you're
like
asking-
comedy. Why do because comedians are always saying, "Why listen to the comedians?
Yes.
Don't listen to the comedians."
Yeah.
But then everybody listens to the comedians.
Well, no, but the point is we shouldn't be freaking running things. So don't listen to us in that. We shouldn't be leading or running things. We are better in the back making fun of things. And I'll tell you why. Because I think with comedy, you can cut to the chase a little bit better.
You do cut to
Then-
the truth in a way.
A little bit
better.
more, right, than other people are able to. So I
I-
think because of that, I think people see us as like maybe authentic truth tellers. Doesn't mean that we should be leaders.
No. You should not be operating. Should not be
leaders.
leading.
Yeah.
Should not be
Yeah,
leading.
very clear. I think everyone's been very clear about that.
but does provide a lot of insight, a lot of truth, a lot of harsh truths, because comedy, part of the job is to tell a harsh truth, tell how people feel, but in a funny way. Make it funny, right? That's a lot of what...
I mean, again, I don't know if our goal is necessarily to tell a harsh truth. Sometimes
I'm not saying you feel that way, I'm saying a lot of comedians do that.
Sure, a lot of comedians have different styles of comedy. You could probably pick out you could say any style of comedy and someone's probably doing it. Yeah, but that doesn't mean. Well, I guess my point is that the goal is to be funny and tell jokes. You know.
How come? What has allowed you, in my opinion, I've seen almost all your jokes.
I don't think we're trying to tell harsh truths. I don't think that's, you know what I mean? That's.
This is my next question. I've pretty much watched, I would say, 90% of your comedy that is out there, that is possibly able to be seen.
There's some hidden tapes that.
No, man, that's not possibly to be seen.
It's on Gumroad, but no one ever looks. Anyway, sure, I'll take your
Anyways,
point. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like you've never made a joke that sold out Asians. And this is me as a
Oh.
person who is
Who
very
hates me. This is-
critical.
yeah, who's very
No,
critical
this is,
of
I'm
me.
very critical of other people. And
Yeah.
there's other Asian comedians I would say
Yeah.
are good people, but have made jokes that I felt like, maybe sold out a little bit as that definition. But I
Okay,
feel like
yeah.
you never have.
Well, that's very kind. I hope so. I hope I've never. I don't want to. I don't want to tell a joke that sells out. Asians.
So why do you feel that way? When you could just go for the laugh, or you feel like it's either morally, some moralistic reasons that I shouldn't sell out Asians, even though this joke would be funny. Have you ever thought of something like that? Where you're like, if I told this, people would laugh, but I kind of don't want to.
Yeah, you're asking two separate things, but yeah, to answer your core question, the reason I started doing comedy was because I felt there was something to be said that no one else was saying. So why would I do the jokes that everyone else is doing? You know what I mean? Like, there was stuff I wanted to say that no one else was saying. That's why I started doing comedy. And the stuff I wanted to say was about Asian people and not.
I think this is the first time I heard this.
Really? Oh.
About why you started doing comedy.
Yeah, you clearly don't do your research before you interview people, because I say this every fucking time. I mean,
I've never heard this.
you're just gonna eat that while I'm talking?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Of course.
So.
Because you didn't do your hair, so this is not a serious interview.
I did my hair.
This is not a Jimmy Kimmel interview.
This is not late night. This is definitely not Jimmy Kimmel. Let's put it.
This is not.
This is a far cry from Kimmel for sure.
Yeah, it's better.
Someone
than
say
Kimmel.
a steep drop.
It's better. Steep drop into Chinatown, baby.
Yeah.
Not
so
this Midtown shit.
So the reason I don't do jokes like that is because those weren't the jokes I wanted to hear. I only want to do the jokes that I wanted to hear. You know what I mean? That's why I started doing comedy. So.
All right. Let me ask you about Interior Chinatown. It's out on Hulu right now. I watched a few episodes.
Cool. You
Pretty
just gotta
good
ask
show.
questions and not listen to my answers, and that's fine. I mean, it's YouTube, so who cares anymore, right? Why am I doing my hair if you're not even gonna listen to my answers? You're just gonna fucking just.
I just matched the energy, you know. I mean, if you had come here. You know,
What do you mean? I've been fucking engaged and listening. People have been
I'm
trying to
listening.
take photos.
I am listening. You finished your answer.
But no follow up, no nothing. You don't. You know what I mean?
It was a
Connecting on
great
a
answer.
human level. Okay. Then say that. Say good answer. But don't just move on to the next question.
You don't think that I put some thought into these questions?
I think you put some thought into this question. I don't think you're listening to my answers.
I listened exactly what you said. You said that's the type of comedy I wanted to do because there's the jokes that I wasn't hearing.
End it with like good answer and then move on.
Do you want me to just repeat what you just said?
No,
just to show you that.
No. Say good answer and yeah.
So even if I say good answer, I don't know.
That's fine.
All right, my bad. What do you want people to take away from Interior Chinatown, the show? You know, aside from just the entertainment, you know, what do you want them to take away from a macro level? And then I have a personal question.
Okay. What is a takeaway? I think
we are in the interior of Chinatown
yes,
right now, by the way.
Yes, no
This
kidding.
is like people have been killed on the street.
Totally. I think people
Slashed,
another murder might
shot.
happen today, actually.
Yeah, this episode is about to be.
Yeah.
This interview is.
There's not a lot of security.
I'm killing this interview right now.
There's not a lot of security for these shoots anymore, I guess. It's not like we have an assassin on the loose in New York City, by the way.
He's out in New York by now. Yeah.
So I think that show, there's a lot of themes addressed in Interior Chinatown that go beyond the surface level of what's going on in that show. I think the main takeaway I want people to get, I guess, would be that like Asian people feel like background characters in America sometimes.
I feel like I'm a background character in someone else's story.
And I think this show does a great job of showing that without complaining about it or like being whiny about it. It's just kind of showing the reality and showing how you might be able to overcome that, you know? And so I think anyone watching it, I mean, forget if you're Asian or not, but if you're someone who's never felt like you're a background character in America, I hope this show will speak to you, you know?
Dude,
Yeah.
like if you're not a extremely talented or good-looking Asian American, I would say you start off as a background character. For
Sure.
sure, that's your default.
Sure.
You know, and then you have to work your way up and do some things.
Yeah.
And, you know, and gain your respect.
So that's what this show is about. So it
Okay.
should speak to you more than anyone. I mean,
You calling me a background character?
yeah.
You don't think I've worked out of it?
I mean,
You don't think
you're-
I've done enough work and
No, I'm just saying you relate to it.
grinded
You relate to it.
the past
You
12
literally just
years?
told me that you related to it. So you should be able to relate
Did
to
I
it.
say I relate to that?
Yeah.
I said those words?
You said
A
default.
little, we'll run it black. We'll
No,
run it
you
back.
started out as a background character, so you should
I didn't
be
say
able-
I said Asian American.
Oh, no, you personally. You were always the main character. Right? And this
No,
show
I
wants to-
relate,
No,
I relate,
but
yeah.
here's the other thing about the show. I want people to understand that it's not just a drama of me and Jimmy O Yang being waiters in a restaurant.
Yeah, of course.
That's what the trailer, I guess, looks like. The show, it's a meta show. It's a show about people literally in a TV show who don't realize that in a TV show, and they slowly start realizing that in this, you know, fictional world because weird things keep happening. So that's what's really cool about the show. It's not just that Jimmy and I are fighting in a restaurant in Chinatown. It's like we are in a Law and Order type TV show, and we're slowly realizing that we're in a TV show.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, of course, because I fucking I'm a
So,
pro. Yeah.
so
Man, more and more
there's a clip
aunties
of you and Jimmy arguing on Complex. You guys did an interview about
Yeah.
the GOAT Asian country,
Yeah.
greatest Asian country of all
Yeah.
time.
Goat Asian country.
Oh no, I'm just gonna say like Japan.
Any white person can say Japan.
You know,
Jimmy says Japan. You make fun of him saying, "Oh, white people would say that." That was funny. And
Yeah.
you said Malaysia.
Malaysia, yeah.
What do you think my GOAT Asian country is? Say it.
What, your Goat Asian
Yeah,
country?
what do you think
is?
I'm gonna say?
I don't know, Thailand? What are you gonna say?
China.
Oh, China,
China's
yeah,
the
Goat
GOAT.
Asian country.
China's the good. You know, you.
It's kind of the original Asian country.
Can you ask me why that's my GOAT?
No, I don't really care. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the GOAT because to me, China is the GOAT like LeBron is the GOAT. Where it's like longevity-wise, statistically there, but does not do or act or look the way people want. So they're like, there's a lot of flaws, but has always been there, always been impactful.
No,
That's my-
no, I don't disagree.
Okay.
But it's
Alright.
also the OG Asian country.
It's the OG Asian
Yeah.
country. Yeah, OG can be GOAT too.
No, as in, as in, it's the front runner.
We're not arguing. It's okay. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
need 97 messages.
No, we're
about this
agreeing,
in
but
our
we're
message.
agreeing in a way. It sounds like we're fighting. Like,
Yeah, no, because
I just
you-
think it's like saying Michael Jordan's the GOAT. It's like, yeah, it's like obvious. You know what I mean? That's the obvious answer.
So you're downplaying my insight by saying it's obvious.
Yeah.
That's a tactic that you probably learned in law school. That's really messed up. Because
okay.
you're just trying to be like, yeah, of course it's the GOAT.
You call
but
it
didn't
a
say that.
tactic, but it's
you
just
didn't say
logic.
that. You didn't.
Because we're on Complex, we're trying to make jokes. Like, why
Yeah.
would I say the obvious answer? Right?
So you're saying that's the obvious answer.
I think calling China the GOAT Asian country might be obvious. Yeah.
All right.
But also, it's up for debate, right? Like, I think.
We don't have to debate this right now. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
This
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
later in the messages. Your Netflix special coming up. Third Netflix special.
Yeah.
Your first one, legendary. Second one, pretty
Okay.
good.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It was good. It was no,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
yeah.
It was right there. You filmed it right there.
I filmed it right over there, yeah.
Shout out to Chinese Tuxedo. But this third one,
Yeah.
I've
This
seen
one's-
you perform it many times.
This one, I'm
I've
just-
seen a lot of the jokes. Really good. How do you think
Back.
or how do you
Back, baby.
I guess how was it back from the second one?
Back,
First of all,
man.
the second one was more like To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't think it was like everybody
Okay.
loved it and
Sure.
appreciated it on the same level.
Sure,
But
sure.
anyways, the third one,
Yeah.
how do you have any desires of how it's going to be
Back.
perceived or what the evolution was and how you've grown from the first one even? Because there's been some time.
Damn, how have I evolved? That's really hard for me.
I mean, you're talking about you're potentially making a family,
And I'm sitting in a medical joking off room. Yeah.
but so that's a new topic. But I guess how do you think you've evolved? Or
Me
how
personally?
will people perceive it, do you think? That's a good question.
It's a good question.
Yeah,
That's
Jimmy-
finally one
Jimmy
good
Kimmel?
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've probably gotten less sensitive in my comedy. Maybe
What do you mean?
I think I used to care more about offending people. I think I'm starting to care a bit less now about offending people.
Chains are off, the filter's off.
I feel like it, yeah. I think so. I think I've gotten better at storytelling. I mean, the other thing is like all the topics I've already addressed, I feel like not talking about them anymore. So I have to find new topics. You know what I mean? I feel like I've done the stuff in my first two. I feel like I've done that. That's why
You've-
I don't go back to, you know,
Analyzing ancient Chinese culture as much.
yeah.
You
I
touch on
guess.
it here, but not.
Yeah. So maybe that's how I've evolved. Like there's stuff I've already said. So I
Okay.
feel like I've already said that. So I'm trying to move on, you know.
Okay.
So maybe that's one way I've evolved. I don't know. I've gotten older. You know, I wrote that when I was in my early 30s and I'm in my late 30s now. So I've gotten older as a person. So I guess my worldview has become maybe a little bit less black and white. I think maybe my worldview a little bit less black and white. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to analyze it.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how people perceive it. December
Yeah,
17th.
December 17th. I think I did a decent job with it. This new one. You
wanna
liked
know-
it, right? You
wanna know
hate
what
everything and you
you
liked
want to
it.
know what I feel?
No, not
All
really.
right.
No.
So
No, please.
No, I want to ask you. I watched you perform a lot of the jokes.
Okay.
I watched
You
the
watched
whole
me-
set like twice.
Yeah, but you also watched me while I was working it out.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah.
So
in New York Comedy Club.
will I get
No,
even
no.
fractional percent tiny credit at all?
You mean
No,
credits?
just no, not actual
Oh,
credit.
like personal
Well,
credit.
like could you
I-
say fractionally percent because I saw it and I gave I'm not saying all the notes were good, but
Right.
was all the notes I gave, did it make it even fractionally better?
Truthfully, no. I give you probably the same amount of credit I would give any audience member who came and gave me some feedback through laughter, you know? So, I can't, honestly, I can't, are you hurt now?
No, it's fine.
I
No,
can't
it's
remember
fine.
what notes you gave me on
All
the.
right, don't worry about it. If it wasn't memorable, then
You probably said something like, talk more about Chinese people, or something. You probably get something like that, the most generic note. Why don't you talk about
I gave some decent notes. We talked about some of the notes, but you don't remember. Anyway,
I honestly,
it doesn't
I'm not even
matter.
being a dick, I can't remember
No,
what
it
the
doesn't
notes
matter.
are.
It doesn't matter. I think I
Wow,
0.01%.
Really clogging up Doyer Street right now.
0.01%. Yeah, throwing off the flow. Have you seen any of my stand-up comedy?
Yes.
You seen some of the clips?
I've seen your clips, yeah.
You
Yeah, yeah.
did our show once.
Yeah.
Say one thing about it. You doesn't even have to be good. Just say something
It's
about
good.
it. It's good?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
A good start? Is it good?
It's good. You got really great premises. I love how Asian uncles don't care if you're filming. You could be Scorsese, and Asian uncles will just walk right
But why
by the
should they
camera.
care? They're
No,
just
I'm not
living
saying they
their
should
life.
care. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's yeah.
It is hilarious.
Technically, we are in his neighborhood
Yes,
right now.
we're
so
actually in his
yeah.
living room. Yeah. This is like his backyard. So
It was good. I think it was. I feel like maybe delivery a little green,
Yeah. No, that's
with the
fair.
delivery.
Yeah,
But
nah.
other than that, I thought the premises were really funny. Your premises are always very original.
Thank you.
Your premises are always very original. Yeah.
Thank you.
We've seen how AI is starting to impact like coding jobs, writing jobs, maybe some aspects of legal work.
I feel like
visual
AI
effects.
wrote this question, right? The way you just said it.
Yeah, it was a more like
Okay.
professional
set.
All right, so, and it's actually affecting creative jobs, actually the first. If people thought it was going to take blue collar jobs like robots,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of
Yeah,
creative jobs.
that's a very funny premise.
Is it?
You should run with that premise. That's a funny stand-up bit. That AI, we thought it would take blue collar jobs, but it ended up taking all the.
Well, I don't know. It's not even. I don't know. Is that a premise?
Yeah, I think it's very
Altman said
funny.
it? Okay.
I think it's very
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My next joke. Psych.
Yeah.
I don't know. How can comedians use AI? Could it affect
Okay.
a comedy?
Don't. How can comedians use AI? Don't use it. That's how.
But
we can-
writers can, and part of comedy is writing.
I mean, what are you using it for though? Like, what are you doing?
Like, what if you ask, hey, ChatGPT, give me top 10 premises? None of my premises have come from ChatGPT, but could someone ask ChatGPT for premises?
I gotta be honest. I'm not saying this with bravado or to sound good. I genuinely have never typed anything to ChatGPT before, so I really don't know. I've never even asked it a question.
Of anything.
I've never asked ChatGPT.
Okay.
I've never even used it.
It can
so-
probably, I think the premises would be very like
generic. A little
generic or like kind of, I guess, hacky maybe.
Yeah,
but they would come up with stuff.
Okay, well, I will say I think that there must be, I suspect there's a gap between what AI is doing and what like human comics are doing. There must be a gap in between
Yeah.
that still, as of now, has not been bridged yet.
No.
I believe that's
No,
the case.
I think stand-up comedy will, of the art forms, be one of the last because it's a live thing.
Sure.
So at least even if you used AI to help
Yes,
you
yes,
write the
yes.
joke, you have to still perform
Sure.
it in person.
Sure.
Right? Because you can't have a filter or some type of a virtual
Yeah, I don't know enough.
emoji.
Yeah,
emoji.
I don't know enough about it because I genuinely have not used it before.
Let's talk about martial arts real quick. You've trained a lot of martial arts for a long time of your life.
Yep.
Wing Chun,
Wing
mostly
Chun.
for the, 10 plus years?
Yep.
How has training Wing Chun changed how you feel about yourself or made you a more like confident man? Because you're a very confident guy. I mean, come on, to come to America, you do this.
To
You're a
live in New York City,
foreigner.
you have to be a little bit confident to live in this.
You're a Asian immigrant taking a lot of comedy and acting jobs away from hardworking Asian Americans. So
Yep.
how is
Well, if you
that
did
been-
Wing Chun, maybe you could have taken the. I don't know. I think it's if nothing else, actually Wing Chun is more of a cultural thing for me. Like it makes me appreciate Cantonese culture more. It's not even about fighting, honestly. When I do Wing Chun, I
right,
feel like
because
I'm
you
I'm
don't use it
connected.
to fight.
Yeah, I don't use it to
it's
fight
not-
because I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I'm not good at Wing Chun, by the way. I just do it.
Oh.
I'm not good at it. I'm not good at fighting. But I don't know, when I do it, I feel connected to like Cantonese culture.
Okay, what about BJJ, doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? How does that help you? Is it like the pulling and tussing on
Oh, no.
another
Here's
man
what it
and the
is.
strength?
Here's what it is. It's very meditative. It's very meditative. So when you're doing martial arts, especially jiu-jitsu, where you're sparring with an uncooperative partner, you can't help but stay in the moment. And staying in the moment is what meditation is, meaning you're not thinking about the past or the future, you're just thinking about the present, which is very Buddhist. And that's what martial arts helps me with, is being in the present. And so it's really mental health. It's really a mental health thing.
Do you think it's made you more confident? Like when you walk around the streets and you're like, hey, like, even though I'm not like a super tall, buff person, I'm like, I feel like I
don't know about that because I don't think you could jiu-jitsu on the street. If someone, dude, we have assassins shooting people in the back of the head
No, but you
in New York City.
probably
Jiu-jitsu is not stop.
you
There's no Wing Chun
bong
move that can stop
bong
that guy
sao.
from. No, there's no bong sao. You can't bong sao a bullet.
No, not a bullet,
Okay.
but you're not the CEO of anything. I think you're Daily Show, hosting the Daily Show.
Yeah.
It's
So
been-
you want to continue about martial arts, or that we're done with martial arts?
Oh, your answer was good. I don't
Okay,
know.
that's good.
I
Okay,
felt like,
okay,
you
cool.
know, you said it was meditative.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
don't you do martial arts more? Why don't you do more martial arts?
I do.
You box?
I do.
Then you come for Wing Chun training?
Yeah.
What do you not like about Wing Chun?
What do I not like about Wing?
Oh, we don't want to get into this. You can edit this if you think it makes you look bad, but
No, I don't.
okay, yeah. What
I
do you
mean,
not like about Wing
I
Chun?
don't sweat when I do Wing Chun.
But
There's no cardio. I like, all right, so for me, no, you know what, instead of me...
you're
no,
doing
no.
shooting
Right,
drills
right,
and then you're
right,
complaining that there's
right.
no dribbling.
How about instead of me ripping on Wing Chun, which I do have respect for, shout out to Brian Kwong, I do have respect for it. And I think there are crossover moves, of course, with other martial arts that are just natural, good movements for blocking and hitting. The overall training aspect, I prefer to do like Muay Thai and boxing. I like to hit. I like the power behind it. I like the overall natural movement of it. I believe that it's also extremely accessible. You can find many people to spar with right away.
Yeah.
I go to a Muay Thai gym once a month and I spar a bunch of guys and
Yeah.
I kind of get beat up.
Yeah.
But I like,
Yeah.
there's something I like about getting beat up in
Yes.
in martial arts and sparring a lot better than even getting beat up in basketball.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
I think it just does something differently to your brain. A lot of dealing with stress. You know, I always say it like this, like it actually helped me in basketball where if I'm looking at a defender guard me or they're putting pressure on me, it's like, what is that pressure compared to someone putting
Yes.
pressure to me in
Yes.
sparring?
Yes.
Someone's trying to hit me in my
Yes,
face
yes.
versus what?
Yeah.
They might try to steal
Yeah.
the ball.
Yeah,
you
100%.
know?
It keeps you calm under pressure, for
Exactly. So I think it's helped me a lot.
sure. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
aspect, yeah.
it's cool. The only thing I would contest in what you just said is that Wing Chun does have hitting and punching.
Of
You
course,
just-
that has hitting and punching. Yes.
No, like wall bags. You punch wall bags. You're supposed to continuously punch wall
I
bags.
punched a wall back.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're supposed to continuously punch a wall bag. We spared you from that because that is the basic.
I would love to do it.
Well,
I did
dude,
it once at the.
Hey, you know what? You want to do it? You don't need someone to tell you to do it. Just
yeah,
do
you
it.
punch a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it. Like, you know what I mean? That's the point, is that like you don't need a teacher there to tell you to do that. Just do it on your own time. When the teacher's there, you wanna get other information from him. You know what I mean? You don't need a teacher to tell you to punch a wall back continuously. So I'm just saying, like, the stuff that you're contesting about the hitting, I would disagree. I think Wing Chun has it. I will say Wing Chun doesn't have enough controlled, uncooperative sparring.
Yeah.
Although it does have that aspect. It's called guo sao. Guo sao is when you just spar, controlled sparring. Yeah. But we don't do it enough because you need to do it with someone who knows what they're doing, first of all. So if it's a beginner, you're not going to do it with a beginner, you know? And then not enough people do Wing Chun to have like a culture.
But also, last thing about Wing Chun is that I think if you were going, and this is always kind of like one of the arguments, is like if you were going to take someone who was 0 out of 10
Yeah.
on martial arts,
Yeah.
and you had a year
Yeah.
to teach them a martial art that
Yeah.
they could use effectively,
Yeah.
you would teach them boxing or Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Versus
Sure.
sit them down and have them
Sure.
do Wing Chun. I think
Sure.
Wing Chun masters
Sure,
still
sure,
would
sure.
beat
Sure,
me
sure,
up
sure,
like
sure, sure.
easy.
Sure.
But
Maybe, yeah.
within
I
1
can
or
see what
2
you're
years,
saying.
if you're looking for something to just
I-
teach you how to.
I see what you're saying,
You
but it
know?
also depends on how you train. I see what you're saying. But
You
if
see the argument here.
I do see the argument. I think if you're training Wing Chun with the intent to fight people, I think you'll have a different outcome at the end of 1 year. Versus if you're just training Wing Chun just to train.
Okay, that's fair.
But anyway,
Good answer.
okay.
We are now moving on
Please.
to another question. The Daily Show.
Yeah.
You cover a lot of news.
Yeah.
You guys it's news satire, American satire.
Yeah.
You get to host it now.
Yeah.
Like on and off, like you're switching off, but now you're in the host seat.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes.
you interview all these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it made you even more optimistic or a little bit less optimistic about where America is headed? I know that you're overall optimistic,
Yeah.
but I want to know if covering the news and delving into all these issues and these macro and, you got
Yeah.
Kepler out there going to the MAGA stuff, and this, doing that, and then
Yeah.
has it made you at all slightly, you're like, no, I'm still optimistic, but, I guess how do you feel?
I'm not trying this isn't a cop-out answer, but when you do the Daily Show every single day, it's honestly like being a doctor in an emergency room. Like you get so desensitized to all the stuff that it's hard to feel anything at the end of it.
So numb.
Yeah, kinda, yeah. And so, yeah, the news doesn't affect me the way it does a normal human anymore. I think I've become a bit of a psychopath, so I guess that's bad. Have I become more optimistic or not? I think,
You could be honest. Maybe optimistic's not the word you want to do.
I
Maybe
guess-
pessimistic's not the word you want to use.
I guess I've become a bit more pessimistic in that I feel like there's a death of respect for expertise in America, in that sense.
And you've
So-
talked about this on
Yes.
stage
So
before.
I think that's pessimistic. So I won't deny that to me is a little disheartening when you see, these, I think we all, when we were kids, I think we all strove to be experts in something, right? Or at least we respected people who had expertise in something.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of gone away a little bit. So to me, that's scary and disheartening. One thing that is positive is I feel like there's more good people than bad people in America. And I can see that even,
Do you think there's a growing number of good people, or it's stayed the same and the good people are just holding on?
I think it stayed the same. I think I don't think you can judge a population by the comment section, first of all. And I don't think you can
No.
judge a population by how they vote.
Yeah, issues don't get solved in the comment section. I get that.
Yeah, and I think
And not all comment sections are created equally,
Sure.
in my opinion.
And I mean, yeah, exactly. Not all comment section should be looked at. And I don't know about how you feel as Asian American, but I'm an Asian person from Asia. So like, I'm used to conservative governments and conservative countries.
Yeah.
Like conservative mindsets, it's not evil or bad.
No.
So we've seen.
It's just a different way to
It's
run
a different mindset.
It's a different,
the problem is when people are idiots. That's the problem, right? Like,
Right.
forget what side of the politics you're on. If you're being an idiot, meaning illogical and emotional, and you're not thinking using science or logic, then that's bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
love
that's
what,
the problem.
I love what Hassan, I gotta say.
Well,
his name
however
right.
you say
No,
his
I gotta
fucking
say his
name.
name.
You don't-
name
don't-
right.
don't worry
no,
about it. There's
I gotta
no way
say
to
it right,
pronounce
or
it
else he's
correctly.
never gonna DM me back.
He won't DM you anyway.
Yeah. He's
I'll watch
DM,
out. Don't-
but
don't.
that's because I
I
think
talk to
said
him
it
every
right.
day, by
Hassan.
the way.
Yeah, I
I
know.
talk to him every day.
So let him know that I tried to correct myself. Hassan.
Yeah.
I love what he said. He said the insufferable versus the insane.
Yes.
Anyways, I thought that was a great line.
His new special is great.
Good
yeah.
bar. Yeah, check out his new special. I think for me, because you asked me, of course.
So sorry, just to wrap up, like I don't think the conservative bent doesn't make me pessimistic, is what I'm saying. It's more just
the idiots.
when
that
we have extreme voices that are illogical and not science-based, that's a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's what scares me more. But I do think that those people are the minority.
Yeah.
So if you ask me overall, am I more pessimistic or not? Maybe I'm a little bit more pessimistic, but not like.
Do you?
I still believe in the strength of American institutions.
Yes, but a lot of people are losing trust in the American institutions now.
Yeah.
Partially because the institutions kind of have been exposed, whether it's through some conspiracy theories or the actual truth,
Yeah.
have been kind of exposed to be somewhat exploitative or fairly corrupt at certain times.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of people are just losing trust in the American institutions, and that also, I think, is related to losing trust in the expertise, because if these experts come from the institutions, then people are losing trust in almost everything.
Sure.
You feel that's
Yeah.
a true feeling that you can confirm, that maybe not you have, but that you sense from.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So do you think
But
that-
I think America has always had a healthy skepticism with
You think it's
federal
healthy
government.
now, or you think it's
No, I don't think it's healthy now. I think America has always had a skepticism
Yes.
towards its government.
Oh,
That's
healthy
the-
skepticism is good.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
good.
yes.
It's good. And by the way, that's also how America was founded.
Right.
Was by skepticism of the government. That's why they came here from
Right.
the UK, because they were like, the government sucks.
So do you think we're just in a time of what it feels like unhealthy relationship with the institutions and the government, and that we will eventually, in maybe, I don't know, at times 10, 15, 20 years, kind of get through this. This is just a transitional period. Like,
I don't know if it's
transitional.
transitional. Yeah, I don't know if it's transitional, but if you look at the history, the very young history of America, less than 300 years,
Yeah.
it always swings left and right. It always swings. So
But is it a healthy swing left and right in mind? Is it?
that's not enough.
It's hard to say.
The sample size is too small to say if it's healthy or not. But the swinging is, so you call it a transition, but it's just a normal swing, right? Like.
Right. But I don't mean just left to right, because I don't want to
Yeah,
put
I know,
those
I know,
on
yeah.
good and evil or bad and
Yes,
or
yes, I know
conservative.
what you're saying,
I'm
yeah.
talking about just distrust.
Yeah.
Even people on the left and the right are distrusting.
I guess what
institutions.
I was trying to say was that maybe we're entering a period of distrust, and then once people see how dysfunctional it can be to have this much distrust, they might swing back the other way and
So
start.
that's what I mean. Do you think it might potentially get more chaotic? Because we're not even in the most chaotic stage
yeah,
yet.
I think
It's
might
gonna
get-
it's
yeah.
like we haven't hit the
Yeah, yeah.
bottom yet, and it
No,
needs to rip back up.
Yeah,
like
we
a
might not-
a meme coin, all right? Like
No,
Bitcoin in 2020.
Sure,
Yeah.
America might be Bitcoin. Yes, we might not have hit the bottom yet. Yes, it might not have hit we're not at the most chaotic it could be. So yeah, that is scary.
Oh, any Asian stand-ups that you like? Oh, good answer, by the way. Thank you. We're good with that
Oh, okay.
whole macro America talk. We don't have to.
I don't think we solved anything, but okay. I don't know if I gave a great answer, but all right.
Yeah,
Thanks
I just
for
said
asking.
good answer just to move on.
I know.
Like,
Let's
it was
move on.
like,
Let's-
It was
yeah.
like a decent
Okay.
answer.
Let's
Yeah,
move
yeah.
on so we can get off the street.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
cold.
Is it too cold? You wanted to do this.
Yeah, but
And I strategically picked the warmest time of the day.
yeah, but I thought you'd do it in a coffee shop. I didn't know we'd do it on the street. I thought we'd be doing it in there.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's what you meant?
That's what I thought you
You
were
said
gonna-
let's do it
Yeah,
on
I thought you'd be
Doyers.
doing it in the. All
And
right,
I
let's
was
just-
like, oh,
okay.
we'll just do it in
Sorry,
the
we're
middle of
clogging
the
up.
street.
We're clogging up the street. Let's yeah.
Just go plug your special.
What? No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. My fans won't watch this anyway.
December 17th, Ronnie's third
Don't worry
Netflix
about
special.
it. Don't worry about it.
Do you think Asian?
Stay-
do you
stay
think
off
Asian
social
Reddit,
media.
You think
Stay off
Asian Reddit
social
doesn't-
media.
You think Asian Reddit doesn't
Unsubscribe.
like-
Unsubscribe to this.
You think Asian Reddit is on your side?
I don't know. There, you tell me. I
you?
genuinely, without bravado, I genuinely don't know what's going on Reddit.
Okay.
What are they on my side?
You know Reddit, no Chat GPT.
No.
You're unplugged.
I'm
You're
unplugged,
back
yeah.
to Moleskine notebooks,
Back to-
analog, pen
Yeah.
on paper.
Yeah, Escape
Okay.
New York. You
Yeah.
know that? You know the analog guy, the Kurt Russell.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's
yeah.
Escape LA.
No, it's also Escape from New York, man.
But he did New York too? Kurt Russell did Escape from LA. That was the movie. Unless there's another sequel. I watched that growing up in America. I watched that. It was Escape from LA. LA breaks off from a earthquake and then turns into like this prison
Escape from New York was the original. Escape from LA is the sequel. I'm not from America, and I know this.
state. Kurt Russell did the Escape from New York?
Yes.
So that must have been years before.
Yeah. He did it years before Escape from LA.
I didn't even know Escape from New York.
You gotta watch it. It's a great movie. It actually describes an America that you believe is true. By the way, if you watch Escape,
I'm hoping for the
Escape
best.
from New York is like a documentary.
I'm
for
hoping.
it.
I believe in the American spirit.
What is the American
What's
spirit?
the American spirit? I think that
The
first of all,
American
it's
spirit
a
is
young,
walking in front of cameras
Yeah,
with
yeah,
just
yeah.
no
No, but
abandon.
it's there's a base level of going as hard as you can. There is a base level of brutality and violence, to be
Yes,
honest, in
yes,
America that we
yes.
just allow. But there's
Yes.
also a lot of teamwork and I think a lot of camaraderie in different ways.
Okay.
And what my only worry is that because I hope that there's still things that we can unite over as Americans. And because, by the way, America is way more diverse than it was in 1900.
Yes.
Way insanely more diverse.
Yes.
And by diverse, I mean different backgrounds, immigrants, religions, all this stuff. What?
Which, by the way, that's a great point. This is what I want to
all right,
bring
let's
up.
do it, let's do
No,
it.
no, no, no.
Let's
Just,
do it.
no,
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 let's do
no.
it.
No,
Why
we
you
don't
do
need to do
this?
each other. Let me answer this question.
okay.
This is what I want your subscribers
Look in this camera. Okay, go. What?
to hear is
this
that
camera.
when you're having a discussion about politics, if you're not starting from what we do agree with, that's not a real conversation. That's not a good faith political discussion. You know what I mean? So what you just said is you hope that there's things that we can agree with. I'm sure there's lots of stuff that everyone can
Yeah,
agree
there is.
with, but we don't we don't start conversations with that. You know, we start off with either saying the most inflammatory thing,
Right.
or we're trying to fight, or we're trying to
So
win.
maybe we should start off on like
What we
3
do
things
agree
that you
with.
agree.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Start political conversation, what you do agree with, because then you'll have a more optimistic view of what's going on. This is just, I don't know what, I
all right.
don't know what that. We agree on Wing Chun, I guess. We agree on Wing Chun. We
Ooh,
agree on Wing
shit.
Chun. We agree on Wing Chun.
That's good. I don't know. I think America is fractionalized in ways though, but I think we have to. All right. So last thing
Yeah.
about this, and we don't have to talk about this forever because we're
Yeah,
just gonna
let's
close
move
up
on.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost done. I think there needs to be a concerted effort to find things that we unite on.
Yeah.
I think we are beyond the stage of organically
Yes.
letting it happen,
Yes.
like this laissez-faire, like,
Yes, yes, yes.
oh, you'll just fall into everybody will watch the Super Bowl and care about NFL. No, that is not the case anymore. So
Sure.
I think you have to almost make people have to put in a little bit of effort
Yes.
into building these bridges and finding things to unite on. And you almost have to make a concerted effort in your mind.
Yes.
Because I think
But
America
that's always
is so
been the
diver-
case. That's always been the case
But-
in
but I
America
think
since
it-
the founding of America.
But I think even when like immigrants coming in 1965 after the Hart-Celler Act, you know, like
Sure.
my parents and stuff. So back when my parents came, they kind of knew they were going to assimilate. It was a no-brainer because they were like, there wasn't that many Asians. They're coming here as students. America's at its peak, or I don't know, yeah, somewhat at its peak in the 70s. It's great, killing it. America at the top of the world, top of the world, top of the world. No-brainer, you buy in. Now, there's not that much pressure. There's not the same pressure. There is not. That's 50, 45 years later. It's not the same pressure to automatically assimilate part of your life or part of, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I guess there has to be, what I'm saying is, and this is on all Americans' parts.
Yeah, this
that-
is too long a conversation to have, but I think we don't.
Do you see where I'm getting at?
I do, but I think you're overestimating the value of assimilation into a certain culture. You know, like you can be American and live your own
Sure, of course.
cultural life.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't have monoculture anymore. I feel that's what you're
Maybe
complaining
that's-
about.
maybe that's- I'm not complaining,
I know
I'm
you're
just saying
observing that
it's
there's no
a-
monoculture because we don't have like 4 TV networks
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're all watching.
Without the monoculture,
Yeah.
it does make it more complicated, is all I'm saying.
Yes, it does.
Which I'm, of
It does.
course, because I'm Asian, I love Asian culture. I love
Yes.
that we're in Chinatown. I love
Yes.
all this stuff.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
love the different cultures.
Yes, yes.
But I do acknowledge it's also a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated to be in America right now. I guess it's complicated to be anywhere in the world. I think the internet has made things very complicated. I mean, but I also think you're not accounting for the benefits that complication has given America
There's
as well.
benefits.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so
Tons of benefits.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a pros and cons. My argument would be that the complication has created, as much positives economically and culturally as it has created negatives. So we're at a net the same as in the 60s. It's just a different way of living,
Well, people just got to adapt and adjust to the new way of life, I guess.
Yeah. America has always been about individual rights, and that's one of the aspects of the experiment of America is can focus on individualism, still create a cohesive national
So
foundation.
you're saying the sense of trying to turn back the clock, the hands of time to the good old days, it's not going to work.
No, what I'm saying is that the issues that we're having now actually have historical precedent. Even since the first founding of America, it's been like that.
Well, at any decade, you're right, there was a portion of people who felt like they wanted it to go back to the good old days. At
Yeah.
every point in the 70s, there was people who
Sure.
were like, there's too many
Yeah.
immigrants. Bring it back to the good old days. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm also saying is that I guess what in a way you're saying that there's too much tribalism in America now to have a united country. But
Well, do you need a united country?
no, but what I'm
What
saying is
makes it
that
easier?
America was founded on 13 colonies. They were separate colonies. They weren't even a united.
It's tough to bring up the colonies. It's like so long ago. Things were so different.
It wasn't that. It's like less than 300
I
years
know,
ago.
but the world's kind of.
Okay,
I just feel like bringing up
look,
the.
we don't need to get into it. I just read this book, 1776.
Okay, all right,
It's
1776.
It's about the year
Read it
1776.
If you want to be a real American like Ronny Chieng, read it.
Dude, George Washington in 1776, while fighting the greatest superpower on the planet at that time, the British, who sent everybody to New York City to invade New York. When he was fighting the British in New York City, he was complaining about these. He was like these stupid New Englanders, because he was a Virginia guy. He was like, these stupid New Englanders, we can't even fight. How are we gonna fight the British with these
Ronny
people?
Chieng. the greatest immigrant to
This is
America.
George Washington, and this is not me saying it. This is this is his own words.
This is what they want every immigrant to be like.
So-
is you. You
so-
are the model immigrant.
So what I'm saying is that the tribalism has always existed. George Washington faced it. So, this is nothing new,
I saw Ronny Chieng on the Fung Bros channel, and I just think that's what all the new Asian immigrants should be like.
So what I'm saying is that we over-index our current
Yes.
issues because we're living through
Okay.
it, but
yeah.
we don't
yes.
realize that.
Yes. When you're living in it, I agree.
think
You
it's-
over-index.
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
I guess we'll not know until history gets written.
Yeah, we it's not our fate
Until,
to see that chapter of the book.
Your kid asked ChatGPT in 20 years what it was like, and then
Oh my God, I hope he. Yeah.
hey, did my dad under or overestimate?
Think about
they
that.
won't talk like that.
As a problem that my kids might have to use ChatGPT to find out what I said.
Well, actually, your kid will just think it, and then ChatGPT will insert the answer back into their eyeballs.
God.
It'll show up on the screen.
This
that
is a
goes
great. Yeah.
And then it'll be like, Dad, and then
I'll hate for them to replay this part of the video when you actually predicted correctly the future of the world. Yeah.
Anyways, guys,
Are we finally done?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh
you.
my
Thank you.
God. Thanks for having me on, I think.
it was fun. December 17th.
It was
If you
okay.
made it this far, we got to edit this down. But
Yeah.
anyways, guys, we're out in Doyer Street. Shout out to Chinatown Social. Shout out to Chinatown.
Shout out to Chinatown, New York City, Chinatown.
Shout out to Netflix, even though they didn't pay me or even know that this
Shout
thing
out
is
to
happening.
Netflix. I'll shout you out.
You
Netflix,
shout out
thank
Netflix.
you.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
not
you.
shouting out Netflix.
This-
You
yeah.
shout out Netflix. I'm shouting out to everybody still watching. All right. Thank you so much. And until next time,
Stay off social media.
we out. This is
Stay-
not, YouTube's not social media. It's a
Unsubscribe.
video
Unsubscribe.
streaming platform.
Unsubscribe.
So YouTube, I don't count it as social media.
if you want to help the world,
TikTok,
unsubscribe to this channel.
Instagram is social media. Buy Smala sauce. I didn't even bring any.
Oh my God.
Can you just give me some? Give me a drop.
This is.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Buy this. If it helps.
Until next time, everybody. I'm out. Peace.
It's actually really good. This is actually really good. I'm addicted to this.